Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another Netflix film review. Today, we are going to take a look at The Kitchen. This is a 2023 film, but we decided to watch it because the trailer looked really good, didn't it?
It looked interesting.
Yeah,
It looked like it was going to go somewhere, and it didn't
yeah.
go anywhere.
But IMDb gave it a 4.8.
That seems high. That seems real high.
That's really high, dude.
Because this is the thing. Like, I was watching the movie yesterday, and I paused the movie to read some of these reviews, and I was like, "Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything. Nothing's improved." I guess that's the metaphor for the movie, is that nothing is improved or fixed or anything, and life is just going on. Like, sure, okay, if that's the argument you're making, sure, but you should also have a story. Like, there should be stuff that happens in this movie.
Story would be nice,
Yeah, like a whole
Story.
reason for this movie to exist, like that, like something that happens that moves you from point A to point B, because there was nothing. This guy gets his apartment. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Get out of the system, yo. You can do it. And he goes back. I'm like, what are you doing? No, leave these guys behind, man.
I don't
They
know
don't
this
owe
guy.
you nothing.
And the other thing is, like, he was like, yo, you know what? No, I think I'm gonna stay with the 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah,
like, dude, you got a son to take care of. What are you talking about?
Bro,
what are we doing here?
Bedroom.
Yeah, for real. So this is they're calling this a sci-fi social drama. I never heard that before.
This ain't it, boss. This ain't it.
I don't see anything social drama about this because, again, I don't know what it was about.
No, like they had interesting elements. Like, the whole kitchen thing is an interesting element, because basically what they're saying is London has gotten rid of all of these estate houses.
The PJs, basically.
The projects. They got rid of all the projects. And this is the last one. And everybody's here doing their roller skating dance party. And they're eating their food and robbing people from whatever. So once you recognize all the bad elements they're doing, when the police show up, you're like, I mean... I'm not for the police, but I get it. Like, I get why they're there. Like, and then so they have all these elements, and they're trying to tell a story about these guys are the dregs of society, but they're the last of the dregs of society. And okay, but I'm like, this doesn't go anywhere. There's no thing that's reached at the end of the movie where they're like, we made a mistake, and we got to keep this building now because of whatever. Like, just something. Like, you get from story point A to story point B.
No.
And like the thing with the kid, and he meets up with Izzy, and you're like, well, is he his father or not? I don't know. Like, he's just some guy there looking out for this kid.
So obvious that he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he smashed his mom, right? Like, let's be real.
You seeded her up, and now you got an offspring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would have been like, yo, they should have an element about, he went to get a DNA test, and then they don't show the results. I'm like, all right, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But like, they didn't do any of that. He's just looking at him like, bro, this is probably my kid. Like, I should do the right thing. Nah, I'm gonna get this apartment and kick him. Peace out. Like, I was like, oh.
Yeah. And the other thing about this, they're basically saying that residents who can't afford to live in the city, the city proper.
Anything.
If you can't afford to live in city proper, now you have to live on the outskirts in the kitchen. You still have to pay rent.
Yeah, you still pay something.
What I'm saying? But the authorities are still coming in on a daily basis, grabbing people away just so that population can dwindle down, and then the city can come in, knock the projects down, and build build condos for the rich.
Yeah. This DJ left his door open and that's how they got to him? How? What? How? Bro,
DJ
you've been here the
Lord
longest.
Kitchener.
Like,
Have you ever
you
been?
got
Let me ask you this:
loudspeakers.
Have you ever done a party in your entire life of DJing where things just got wild?
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
me too. Yeah,
Absolutely.
like back in the day.
And I'm like, protect the turntable.
Right, exactly.
Save the
I mean,
records.
you know, when crews used to come and crash parties, first thing they do is like start fighting, and then they come up to the, you know, if you're on stage or something, they come up to the DJ stuff and just start smashing stuff for real. And this is like, yo.
Yeah. No, it's not good.
No,
It is not
DJ
good.
Lord Kitchener is the DJ who was killed. He sounded like he was killed. I mean, because he was pumping all this propaganda and everything anyway, you know, through the airwaves.
Like, everything's great. There's water on this
know,
side of the
like,
building. Everything's great over here.
DJ Lord Kitchener.
I hear no bangers once, man. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, like, listen. I was listening to the music and I was Shazamming it, and it's all old music. It's not new music. And I'm like, oh, okay.
He's all playing. So this is supposed to be 2044.
Yeah.
And he's playing all the music from the 60s.
Right.
Like the old dubstep and the foundational reggae songs. That's what he was playing.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, how old is this guy? Like, he wouldn't be alive back then. He wouldn't know any of this stuff. Like, his great grandfather would give it to him.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Okay.
The movie's weird, and he had high expectations for what he was doing, but like he did not get there. Yeah. I didn't like it. It was just the point. I got 20 minutes into the movie, and I started looking at my clock. Like, how long is this thing gonna be?
Yo, no. Let me tell you what I did. Remember I was telling you that we should like create something called the first 10.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I was in, and I was like, okay, this is the time right here. And then I was in, and I was like, okay, where's it going? And when I got to 10 minutes, I was like, I don't know. And then got to 20 minutes, I'm like, I still don't know. I still don't know.
Like, you have good elements. Like his job, like you could have had like something shady going on at his job where they're stealing bodies to make Soylent Green, something, anything. Like it should have switched from, okay, this is a stupid story about this project that's broken down and people got like these deadbolts and whatever. I don't care about that. Like everyone's got a hood. Everyone's lived in a hood. Everyone's seen a hood. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. Like, that's fine. So the hood was not interesting.
No.
The gang doing the stealing and whatever, that wasn't interesting.
No.
Because like they were like a nice gang. They're like, hey, you want a motorcycle? Like, I got you. Like, no, that's like, not a gang.
Dude, you know what? This is not about you. We just want the stuff in the back of the truck. That's it.
Yeah, they would have beat that guy senseless. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they were like, they went into this guy the apartment with the family, and they're like, we're just gonna smash your dishes. No, that's not what happened. It's the gang. They would have beat the family up.
I mean,
they would have butched the kid. Like
that was so corny.
And
the other thing is, you know, I'm not gonna say this movie had a lot of violence, right? But when you have the police coming in and like wrecking shop, generally you have some violence. The other thing is
you got some violence.
Yo, the gang, they had no guns. There was no one shot in this movie. You saw no blood at all.
Yeah, how'd you take over the truck? I would have been like, get out my truck, bro. Like, you ain't got nothing either. Like,
no blood, no guns, no shootings, nothing like that. I mean, the cops came with like sticks. I mean, it's London, so
yeah, I know. But listen, this is the thing. London has guns,
dude. Listen,
London police got guns.
If
they would have brought them.
Yes,
100%.
If people don't know, let me tell you, the hood in London is real. I mean, the PJs in London is real. The gangs in London are real. They
you
roll.
don't want to be in these estates, man.
No, they flow just like they flow in New York, Toronto, LA, Atlanta, you know, Miami, 100%. All over. You know what I'm saying? Like Australia, 100%. Whatever. They do the same thing, dude. I mean, drugs, you know, money, sex, the whole nine guns.
Here's another thing that's interesting. Why was there no drug kingpin or somebody like some boss inside of the PJs?
Yeah.
It was just regular people. Like, I just want to go to work.
It was just Staples. That's it. The guy who was in charge of the gang, his name was Staples. That was it. It was just him. You know what
That
I'm
that guy
saying?
was no kingpin. Like this guy
No.
stole food and gave it to the poor people. Like,
He was
come on,
actually
bro.
pretty nice. He was actually a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
You know,
He's looking
it's
out.
like,
Hey, kid, you want
Staples,
a
you're
place to
pretty
stay?
nice.
Come
You
stay with
know,
us. We got a bed. Like, come on, bro. Like, what is this?
they call him.
They would have stole his bike. And first thing they would have done was stole his bike
he
and
was
beat
the
him up.
leader of the biker gang. That's what they're calling this. This is a biker gang, right?
You know what it was? It was a young, ethical, nice estate with gang members who like give back to the community. Like if he stole the food and brought it into his apartment, and it was like, "Yo, you guys owe me for whatever. I'm gonna give you some turnips." I'd have been like, "All right, that seems logical."
Well,
Because somebody.
I don't know about turnips, dude. I don't like turnips. You ain't doing no
But I'm
turnips,
just saying,
dude. Come
some
on.
gangster
Turnips,
stuff
dude? Give me
would
some
form.
collards or something. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, though, I'm saying is that gangster stuff would form in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Somebody would be like, "Yo, I'm gonna be the boss of the kitchen, and you gotta go through me if you want to come into this building." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the back in the day when you go to the projects to go see a girl, I have to go through a mob of like 20 dudes.
That's
Like,
it.
and those guys are like, they're just sitting on the curb, just smoking, looking at you. You got to pray you knew somebody to get out that building. Like that element was missing from the movie. It didn't make any sense.
You didn't see, like you said, the only time you saw drugs was when Izzy was smoking in his new apartment.
Yeah, he's
That's
smoking
it.
weed. Like,
he was just smoking a J, right? But when you went back to the kitchen, you didn't see no one was running guns, no one was like no drug dealers, the whole nine. And here's the most interesting thing about this movie, right?
Yeah.
It's called The Kitchen. Do you know what the kitchen is?
No.
Why is it called The Kitchen?
No.
No, I was thinking that all the apartments look like kitchens. I was like, oh, all the apartments are galley-style kitchens. That's why it's called a kitchen.
Like, all right. I mean,
no,
that's kind of true.
But they have kitchens too. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was like a nickname for the thing, or maybe that was the name originally for the building. I don't know. It's dumb. I'm sorry. Like, the fact that there was no actual criminal element inside of this movie makes no sense to me. I'm just sorry. I've been to enough projects in my lifetime to DJ and just hanging out with the boys. I've seen some stuff, right?
Yeah, listen.
I've been to real projects. In New York City, I've been to projects. St. Louis, I've been to projects. LA, I've been to projects.
New York,
I've been projects in Toronto.
Chilltown, Duncan, Marriott, the whole nine. Lafayette, for real, man. Again, the kitchen, I don't know what the kitchen is. I don't even, here's the thing. What was the story about?
The kid meeting his dad, friend? I don't know. Like,
was that the story?
Was it about like, because was it from the kid's perspective about a coming of age kind of thing, or was it from Izzy's perspective? I don't know who's the lead of the movie.
Coming of age involves a little, intimacy with the opposite sex.
Yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying?
He like kept trying to kiss this girl. Like,
right?
How old do you know she is? She don't look that old. Like,
right?
I don't know.
They're saying
that roller skating thing.
I mean, okay, so they had a club inside the kitchen.
Apparently, the basement of the kitchen is a club. They got drinks and everything.
I mean, they're saying that this film is kind of based on it. The themes of this film are class, community, resilience. And here's the thing: they said making it a compelling watch. No, this was not compelling at all.
No.
Well,
because if it had a plot and it was going somewhere, like if something happens that changes, because you when you got a movie and there's a status norm, like Izzy's life gets upended because he gets in a fight with the gang or something. Like something has to happen that you're like, oh, okay, this is gonna change his life forever, and he's got to make a decision about what he's gonna do. Something, because like. Izzy seems to be the star of the movie, but not really, because they spend a lot of time on the kid. But I'm like, how is there no social services that comes up to the kid and be like, hey, your mom just died. What you gonna do about rent? Like,
we're gonna put you
happened.
Right, exactly.
Bro, we're gonna kick you out of the apartment in 3 days. Like nothing. They just like, He could have gone back to his apartment whenever he wanted. Just didn't have
Yeah.
any electricity. Like, word?
And the other thing is, that the boy's name is Benji. Benji rolls up to the kitchen for the very first time. You're
by
in
himself.
by
He's got
himself,
like
12-year-old,
13.
13-year-old, right? This is a person regardless of age. You know how the streets work. You roll up into someone's territory and no one knows you.
Bro, you get robbed and beat up.
Yeah, Staples was like, dude, I'm gonna bring you into my gang. I'm just like, dude, he didn't get an initiation or anything like that. It's just like, dude, what? Are you serious?
Where your grandma stay at? Like, where you from, bro?
Yeah, like yo, you have any people I know? You have any people who live here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who do you know here in the projects? Like, yo, that's the thing. You got to tell them who you are, how you connected to this, and why you're here. That you got to tell them. And it's got to be some good answers. It can't be just, my mom gave me a bike before she died, and I just decided I'm going to go ride my bike. Mm-hmm. That's not a good answer. I don't care how old you are. That's not a good answer.
So was this about escaping the kitchen? Because no one really was like, gung-ho about like leaving the kitchen. You know, even Izzy, when he went and got his apartment, he was just like, 2-bedroom, he really didn't want to do it. It took him a few days. He had 21 days to like come up.
Like, I don't mind the raids. I got a good start door.
Like, I mean, come on, dude. It's just like, and then
it starts with him taking a shower. That's the movie starts with that. And I was like, okay,
in a community bathroom, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, this is going somewhere. Like, this got some. He's like, this is a hard life. I got to get out of this building with any means possible. That's what I thought was happening here. And then he gets a way out, and he's like, I don't feel like it. Like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, this don't make no sense. You're not selling me on what you're telling me right now. You're not selling me.
He's got a job, a good job. Mm-hmm. A lot of people in the kitchen don't work. He's got a job. He was able to save up his money, get a really good apartment in the really good part of London, where people actually do
he moved
things,
to a nice area.
Yeah, and he's going. I don't know. I mean, honestly, this I'm gonna be real with you, right? Mm-hmm. I actually watched. This is a hour and 49-minute movie, right?
It's a long movie, man.
I watched this movie over 4 days. No, like, dude. No jiving. I did my first 10 and I was at 25 minutes and I was like, I'm shutting this down, And then the next day I watched like maybe 20. I was on a Zoom call and I watched the 20 minutes while I was on a Zoom call, right? I was just like, no face, no mic is off. I was just like muted. I was like, watch the movie. It was like weak. I watched it over 4 days. This joint was completely
is tough.
Trash.
See, there should have been like a good story about his job, how they're doing something evil. That would have been interesting to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're taking the bodies and they're taking the organs, like something. So give me something. One reason why his job is there and they told you about his job. Because I didn't need to see anything about his job. It was irrelevant. I mean, outside that he met the kid there, like it's to see how his job works and what he does there is irrelevant. He's just selling plots to poor people. Like,
that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
I don't. They do in California, Oregon, I think Washington. There are laws on the books in some states where you can use, if the dead body can be used for compost. So they do that too, right?
Yeah. So no, it's a thing. Like, it's a thing.
Here's the thing, right? Before we zip this up, I was like, okay, so when Benji, like, had the slingshot and he, hit a drone, right? I was thinking, I was like, okay, now it's about to get really good because obviously the police have like all the drone footage from that one particular drone. Nothing.
Yeah,
right?
They know who did it. Yeah.
Right. So I'm just like, none of that came up. And so here's my last question.
That's a good point. That's a good plot point. That should have been something in the movie.
Exactly.
The police are looking for him and Izzy helps him. Like, okay, all right.
Here's my very last question before we wrap this up.
Okay.
Was there anything sci-fi about this movie? Because they're calling it a sci-fi.
No. I mean, like he's got a mirror that's got like it tells him his text messages and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean
I mean, those
that's an
they have those
iPad. That's a
drones
big
right now. Like that's not something
iPad.
new.
Yeah. Other than the
That's not.
drones, other than like, his mirror giving him like all the messages and stuff like that. I mean,
No,
there was
no.
nothing, absolutely nothing sci-fi about this movie at all.
It didn't. It didn't feel like because it should have been present day. Because it didn't feel like it was in the future. It
No.
felt like right now.
They didn't even show any futuristic stuff like in 2020, 2044. Like, go to London,
Yeah,
show me this stuff. I mean, they showed the buildings and everything, but nothing up close. Again, like I said, there was nothing sci-fi about this movie at all.
yeah. They should have had like with the police, like they had like updated tools to arrest people, like
They had
like a robot
batons.
dog or
Yeah,
like what I'm saying, like they
they
some
had
kind of specially
batons, dude.
thing
I'm like, where's the
to knock you
sci-fi?
out.
Yeah. It's not good, man. Listen,
Like
we're gonna.
something to tell
It's
you this is
something, but it's
future.
not great,
They didn't even
man.
say what year it was. I found out what year it was from the summary. Like I didn't know what year
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
from the movie.
I
They
had to
didn't say
go in and
nothing.
read like what year it was. They didn't even say that. I mean, you would think they would flash that on the screen or something like that. Again, like I said, there's nothing
Yeah.
sci-fi about this. They had drones. We have drones. You know what I'm saying? Today,
It should have been
2024.
like Star Wars. It says like this the year's 2024
Yeah,
and this is the last building in all of London,
they didn't
and
even do
people
that.
are holding on to, like, it makes me feel different
And
about it.
it's
Like
called
I had
the
to find that
kitchen.
out on my own.
Yeah, and it's called the kitchen. Don't know what the kitchen is. So Keo.
Yeah, like yeah.
So, yo, this movie. Listen, I have a new worst movie. But listen, so
This the
we are
worst
talking
movie. This
about The
is.
Kitchen. This is a Netflix film, original film. It aired last year sometime. We decided to watch it because the trailer looks really good. So Keo, what are you going to rate The Kitchen?
The kitchen gets a 2 for me. And I only reason why it's not lower is because I liked elements of it. Like the thing about his job, like that seems interesting. Like the whole how London is today, that seems interesting. Like there should be this area is cordoned off and you can't leave. You need like a special security pass to get out of this area, like something like that. Like something. Like it should be, like Escape from New York, where there's a bridge around New York City, and you can't get out of the city. Like there's machine gun terrorists, where like
Yeah,
something interesting about the what was going on, because the premise was like okay, it's just the execution was just dog crap,
yeah.
like just awful. And I like Daniel Coulier, whatever his name is, Coulier, whatever his name is. I like him. I think he's a good actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff that I
Mhm.
like. But nah, this ain't it, bro. No,
He should
I'm
stay an
sorry.
actor, not a director, not a
I
writer.
mean,
You
like
know what I'm
if
saying?
you want to be an actor, like you got to come up with a good story,
Yeah,
and the story is lacking on so many parts. Like it's just like a story that's vague. Like if you're gonna do that, you need better story elements. You need better characters. Cause like as far as the kid goes, I'm sorry, I sound awful in saying this. I was like, oh damn, he's homeless. Izzy got out. All right. Like, all
yeah.
right.
Now I want
I
to see
don't
what's going
care.
on with
Like
Izzy.
this
Yes, exactly.
guy's all sobby. He's gonna hang out with the gang. All right, hang out with the gang then. All right, cool. Like go. You
Yeah,
ungrateful. Like
pretty
I was like,
much.
whatever. Like,
Hmm.
if he stayed with him the whole time and he's just looking out for him, I'm like, oh, that's sad. But he didn't do that. He went back with the gang, trying to hook up with some girl. So I'm like, all right, no peace then.
Yeah.
You be okay. You want to be in the projects anyway. All right.
Dude,
I didn't feel sorry for nobody, man.
no, no
I know
one.
I felt sorry for Izzy because Izzy had a way out of the projects and he threw it away.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Hmm.
So Izzy, I pour one out for Izzy, but other than that, I didn't care about this movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So with our ratings, the ratings are generally 1 through 10, right? So we can't do a 0. We can't do a
No, you
negative,
can't.
right?
No
No,
zero. No.
no. So I'm giving this a 1.
All right.
So
All
if
right.
you
Fair
remember,
enough.
we reviewed Roadhouse. I gave that a 3. So and I said that was the worst movie I've seen this year. No, it
This
isn't.
is the
This is
worst
the worst
movie
movie I've seen
I've
this
seen all
year,
year.
right? This was the
Yeah.
dumbest movie because the movie had no direction at all, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We did not know what the kitchen was. Why is the kitchen there? You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you talk about stuff like okay, well, they were like they were protesting, living where they lived, and then the city coming in trying to take, their homes away. It's just like, listen, eminent domain. Like, if everything else is built up, go in, take the property, give people stipends to move any and everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, so, and then
Mm-hmm.
again, for you to
Yes.
have a gang,
Yes.
for you to have the police. They're calling this a sci-fi social drama. I saw no sci-fi at all. I saw absolutely no sci-fi. The story was so dumb because it wasn't intelligent, right? I didn't know what was going on. It looked like it was shot on an iPhone. I mean, still was really great, just how it was shot there and everything else. But this was a student film. I gave it a 1.
Mm-hmm.
This joint sucks all the way around. There's no redeeming quality. There's nothing redeeming about this movie. It's dumb as anything. And then, before we zip it up, they have the audacity to leave us with a cliffhanger, right? And let me just say this right now. Netflix, if you're listening, you don't need a sequel, dude. This is done.
Ain't no sequel.
There's
Ain't
no
no
sequel.
sequel.
We don't need a sequel, dude. It's just like, no one's going to watch this joint. I mean, you're getting a 4.8 on IMDb. I don't know what Rotten Tomatoes gave it. But, I'm giving it
this was 4.8 out of pity. That's what that was.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
People
it's just
feel
like,
bad, like, oh, it's a sad
like they made it, so
like,
we're giving them a 4.8. No, it's just like this movie was horrible. Keo gave it a 2, I gave it a 1, which means right now, this is the worst movie we've seen thus far this year. Easily. In Cosmic Sin, I gave a 1 as well. So, and I think I gave Jupiter's Legacy a 2. So I got, listen, I have anything below a 3 and below, I'm keeping tabs on it for real. So if you're interested in watching a sci-fi movie that isn't really sci-fi and dumb and stupid, go check out The Kitchen on Netflix. It's an original film. It's available on Netflix. The Kitchen. Go check it out. There you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.